Hi, welcome back everybody. It's Northwegian Lockpicker here. Alright, first thing up, give some shout backs here to the lockpicking newbie. He did a outstanding video of highlighting my channel, and I really appreciate that. That was awesome. Also, the crazy cleric, he did the same thing, did a shout out for my channel, so greatly appreciated both of you guys. Thank you. Okay, now I'm in the process of going through my locks that I just ordered. I ordered a 3-pack, the Gabrico 3-pack. Here's all the information for that. I ordered them on Amazon Prime, and I did a quick unboxing and picked through one of them in my last video. I ran into some problems, not really problems, but it raked open really easy, and then when I was single pin picking it, I just kind of hit a snag in there, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on, so I spent a few more hours picking through them, and it seems that every lock out of this set of 6 locks, here, has the very same issue. So I think I know what's going on. I discovered that if I pick it, these are kind of hard to get the lock up in the vise very good here, but let's try that. That's a little better. Okay, so what I discovered is that as soon as I put pressure on it, feels like pin 4 in there just locks right up. Like there's nothing I could do but break a pick on it. The other pins, I can feel them clicking into place. So what happens is if I release all the tension, if I lift up just slightly on pin 4 and then reapply pressure, then I can lift it back into place, and then everything picks through pretty much as you would expect. Well, at least it was when I wasn't on camera. Let something drop back down there. I've got something at worse set here. There's that pin 4, got that slide by again. So what's happening is I'm oversetting 1, 2, and 3 when I lift on 4. Okay, so I'm going to get on the 1. I'm going to back off pressure until I feel it just break free. Okay, and then I'm going to lift it. Then I'm going to reapply tension with it just slightly lifted, and then go through the pins. I'm using a ton of pressure there. There we go. Okay, so what I think is happening is that pin 4 is actually, the key pin is too short, or sorry, the driver pin is actually too short, and it's pushing, the spring is pushing it right down into the core, and what's actually binding up there is the fact that the spring is in the shear line, and it won't go past. So I'm gonna double check that, see if I'm right. Dumped all my pins out. Trying to rush. Okay, in case there's anybody watching here that's not sure of, you know, if you go through this or dump all your key pins out, the best way to make sure that you got them back is just put the key back in the core and drop your pins in. If it's sitting deeper or not sticking out, it's the right pin. So that's that one. When you got them in the right spot, they line up perfectly with the shear line. So this here little short bugger, that's the one that goes in pin 4. That's the one that's giving us problems. See how that one, oh come on, work with me here. Alright, now that one sits just a little below the shear line. So I would suspect that this one will stick up a little above it, so those two pins got to be switched around. Okay. There we go. Now they all line up real nice with the shear line. Okay. So I'm going to pull the key out, and you can see how deep set that number 4 pin is in there. I think what's going on now is once I get the driver pins out here, we'll set that into the core, and I bet it sits down even lower than the shear line. First I was thinking this hollow follower was kind of a problem, but pull them out one at a time, let it shoot out, slides right down. Might be kind of handy. Okay, here's pin 4. That's the one that's giving me problems, and just like I suspected. It was kind of bothering me that it was such a simple lock, no security pins, and it was just kind of jamming me up. Wasn't quite sure why, but sure enough, that is exactly what I suspected. So if you put just a little pressure on there, it binds right up on this core, And the core, see if I can get this to focus in the right spot. There we go. The core actually has very sharp edges in there. I don't even think, as far as the challenge lock goes, I think this one's going to be pretty simple. It doesn't even sharp edges, and then some kind of a cut groove in the inside. I suspect it's product of the casting, but I think that's almost going to act like having serrated or threaded edges on there. So next thing I did was I pulled the faceplate, the nickel plated covered faceplate on there. I was debating whether to leave that on there, but just pry off the little lip here on the face cover and pry it off. I want to use an engraver. I'll use this Dremel engraver, and I'm going to engrave Norwegian lock picker and challenge lock number 1 on this lock, and do the same for each of them. But those face plates are a little bit loose, so I think those will end up, over years of use and being thrown around from bucket to bucket and picker to picker, clamped up in different vices, I think those face plates will come off. So I think the longevity of keeping it tagged means I gotta pull those plates off. So alright, the plan is I'm going to replace all these pins. Replace all these pins out of here with my own cut pins, and each pin is actually, I went up to the hardware store, I don't remember how much I paid for a little brass rod, but the regular pins are 108, 109 thousandths, and closest brass rod I could find was 125 thousandths, so 1/8 of an inch. So that gives me some room to play around. I can each hole is 112, 113 thousandths by the way it looks. So I'll have to take the whole rod down to give or take 110 thousandths, and then I should be able to cut in my serrations or spool lines or whatever I want to do, and I can make them the right length so I don't run into this issue with, like we were seeing with number 4 pin there. So that's the plan. I'll be locking up my Dremel, if I can do this without making a mess out of everything. I'll be locking up my Dremel in here and using it like a lathe. So lock up the Dremel in here in the vise. Then I'll take this little clamp here, clamp it on there just like that, so I can use it just like a guide bar. So I've got room to work here. I can use that to kind of steady myself, so I can get some nice fine serration lines cut precisely, and then I'll measure everything out so I make sure I got my pin sizes to exactly what I got blueprinted in my head, and hopefully it'll be challenging. So I'll probably do another video on cutting some pins here. I don't really want to do a full video of everything that I lay out in this lock, because whoever gets it would be it would spoil the surprise. So I'll see you back in a little while. We'll be cutting some pins and kind of demonstrating what I'm doing to go through it. And okay, if anybody wants to contact me for any reason, I think I've got my email address set so you can see it on my YouTube page, but maybe not. This is my email address. It's norwegianlockpicker@gmail.com. And If you like what you're seeing here, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to stay legal. If you don't respect the keyhole, don't stick your pick in it. Thank you all.